What is the best transmog farm? I hear this question a fair amount, and in truth, there is not an almighty transmog farm to do, but there are a fair amount of amazing ones that can provide great gold for gold farmers. So without further ado, let us begin. Starting off our list is Gnomeregan. You are able to get some truly amazing drops from this dungeon due to them having some incredibly low drop chances. However, you are easily able to make a big payday if you are lucky enough for these drops. Notable items are hotshot pilot gloves, mech builders overalls, and cavern deep trudgers. These all sell for a stupid amounts of gold due to the drop chance being so low, and in the case of the hotshot pilot gloves can be one of the biggest paydays you have ever seen. Though Gnomeregan can take some time getting used to, and some players can get lost if you have not done it already, hence why I've placed it on the lowest part of this list. Talking about low drop chances for crazy prices, I would be remiss if I did not talk about the one, the only Uldaman. This is the gold maker's heaven. If you are searching for items that sell for insane amounts of gold, some of these items are the Pendulum of Doom, Papal Fez, Digmaster 5000 and the Jinsu sword. All of these can sell for stupid amounts of gold, but the chance of them dropping will require multiple, and I mean multiple, runs to get the items to drop, but that is a risk you take with RNG based gold farms. Other notable items that have not been reported to drop since Cataclysm and can sell for nearly or even gold cap is the Miner's Hat of the Deep, Spolders of the Lost Age, and the Jackhammer. All of these items are still on the loot tables, but still no one has managed for them to drop. So if you are going in this dungeon for these, then it is probably best to know this ahead of time. Another great transmog farm, but still plays a factor with RNG, but has a lot more for you, is the Karazhan trash farm. This is where you'll be heading over towards the raid of Karazhan and only farming the trash within the dungeon. If you kill the bosses, you will be locked to this raid and you will not be able to reset the instance for your consecutive runs. A notable item for this raid is the Blade of Wizardry, which can be sold on the auction house at a surprisingly high amount of gold. Other raids and farms can drop this item, but down to my own experience, I have only ever received this item from Karazhan along with a ton of high selling recipes, hence why it has made it on this list. This brings us onto one of the great transmog farms for gold makers. This is the Twilight cultist farm in Silithus. You will need to head towards one of the 3 Twilight cultist camps and you will have the chance of obtaining some remarkable items from them. These include Tibu's Blazing Longsword, Glorious Leg Plates, and the Stone Render Gauntlets. These, among a lot of other high-end transmog, can be farmed from these mobs and can provide a great gold per hour for your time invested. This is also worth noting that this farm is best done in a 5-man group, but can be done solo if you so wish. Another great way to pad out your auction house is if you are getting started with transmog farming is the dungeon Blackrock Depths. Located in Blackrock Mountain, you are able to gain a ton of gold value transmog to place on the auction house. Items of note for this farm is Mar-Alum's Grip, Stone Shield Cloak, and the Spire of the Stone Shaper, and providing you with good returns from this dungeon overall. It is worth noting that running this dungeon, that if you bring a miner for your farming session, that you are able to gather dark iron ore on your run, increasing the variety of items and the gold per hour for your farming session as well. Coming in at number 6 is the raid Sunwell. Your main objective is to only farm the trash mobs, much like the Karazhan raid. You do not want to kill any of the bosses due to being locked to the instance. You are able to gain a wide variety of transmog items that sell for stupid amounts of gold, but the one item of note is not transmog initially. This is a recipe for the Fell Steel Longblade, which can drop from this raid. This recipe, or even the craft from this recipe can be sold for insane amounts of gold and generally can pay for your token if you are lucky enough for this item to drop. This of course does go without saying that pretty much every transmog farm is RNG based, so it is down to luck a lot of the time and how much you do farm it. Another great farming dungeon at number 7 is the dungeon Maraudon. Here you'll be wanting to farm this dungeon from one entrance to the other, and in between gathering up all of the mobs, burning them down. This dungeon can provide some truly amazing transmog for padding out your auction house, and as a bonus give a lot of old world herbs to sell as well. Items of note are the Wolf Fear Harness, Poison Tipped Bone Spear, and the Dead Wood Sledge. These are your keynote items you'll be farming for, but also have a chance to obtain some really valuable mogs and recipes from this dungeon as well, making it number 7 on this list. Another great location, which is in the Southern Barrens, is the dungeon Razorfen Kraul, or better known as RFK for short. This dungeon can be farmed quite easily and has a chance of dropping items like the Sledgehammer, Sword of Decay and Vendetta, among others. Additionally, you are also able, if lucky, to receive the recipe for the Star Belt, which can also sell for a truly incredible amount of gold, which can be obtained from the chests within said dungeon. Coming in at number 9, we have the Scarlet Monastery. Located within Tearsfall Glades, this dungeon has some keynote items that sell for some insane amounts of gold. It is worth noting that this dungeon is not for padding out your auction house, but this is for the people trying to get that one drop that will provide a big payday. Items of note are the Sunblaze Coif, the Beggar Robes, Cobalt Crusher, and the almighty Scarlet Boots. It is worth noting that these items sell for a decent chunk of gold, but the drop chance for these ones are low, but not as low as others like Uldaman, hence why I've placed it at number 9 on this list. Coming in at last on this list in a prized pick for transmog farming, and that is the Blackfathom Deeps. Located in Ashenvale, this dungeon can be used for padding out your auction house, but not only this, the dungeon also has some amazing transmog that can be sold for some insane prices. Items of note are the Axe of the Enforcer, Doomspike, Onyx Claymore, and the Crested Scepter, among many others. This dungeon is the pinnacle of transmog farming in my opinion, as it provides padding for your auction house for medium range transmog, but also the chance to obtain some items that can literally pay for your game time, and I feel that this is a nice dungeon to round out this list. Other than that guys, that is my list for the 10 best transmog farms. Have a wonderful rest of the day, and I shall see you in the next video, which will be soon.